Hello, so I'm back with another video finally after so long. Um, in this video I do a digital drawing of three of my favorite things combined. A butterfly on a daisy in front of a like sunset background with clouds. So yeah, that's fun to do. Here I'm just doing like the sketch of the daisy, adding the petals, stem, I don't know what you call that, pollen part, and then I'm now doing like a sketch of the butterfly. So yeah. After doing this digital drawing, it reminded me that I like traditional art a lot better. Mainly just because I kept drawing on the wrong layer, and like that just kept messing up the whole drawing, so I had to keep going back, redrawing this, erase that, redraw that. So yeah, it's not horrible, it's just me get used to like drawing like that on different layers. That's like I feel like the main difference. Although like if say you're doing like an oil painting, you would do layers, or like even if you're doing acrylic you do layers, but it's like I don't know, it's different. So I feel like the most tedious parts of this drawing were like one, individually drawing on that you'll see later the pollen, like you know the pollen specks, like say you touch a flower you get the pollen specks on your hands, so to individually add those I had like dots is what I did to represent the specks, pollen, I don't know, pollen specks, I don't know what you call it, I guess pollen in general. But yeah, and then the second thing was probably the stem. For some reason it turned out different than I imagined, but it looks fine. I don't know, I thought like, because I think when I was coloring the stem, that was like my first time coloring digitally, so maybe that's why. So, I don't know, yeah. My favorite parts of the drawing was definitely coloring the butterfly, and then doing later on that you'll see the sunset background with the clouds. Those are my two favorite parts, and I think it's just because they involved gradients, like doing gradients and blending, and like that's always fun to do regardless. Like say you're doing makeup, blending I feel like is the most fun because it's like transitioning from one shade to the next. It's always fun to do that. So yeah, here I'm just adding the pollen specks that you see. Took a while, but I think that's the only reason why I didn't like it. It took so long to add the different shades of the pollen specks, to add definition and depth to the drawing. So yeah. I feel like adding shadows to this drawing was the most difficult as well, because when I was adding the shadow like that you just saw like on the stem, I couldn't do it in like just regular black. I had to do it in a darker green, and like when I was adding the shading on the petals I had to do it in a like gray color. So like I think that really taught me like in digital drawing I can use like something that I learned in digital drawing I can use in like traditional. It's like when you shade, it shouldn't just be like black or white. Like say you're shading a skin tone shade, you don't want it just to be like one shade. You want it to transition from like a lighter color to a deeper color instead of just being like this and that, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, same if you're doing like I don't know what it's called, but like, you know, you see those drawings that have like light reflected on skin, and it's like a blue colored light and a red colored light, so you can't really draw and color in that same drawing with like, you know, skin tone color. You have to use like blue and red, for example. Oh, here now I'm just coloring the butterfly wings, and that was like really fun to do. when I listen back to this narration, I'm gonna cringe so much. But it's fine. It's all good. So I don't really know what else to really talk about, because I kind of really touched upon everything I wanted to say already. I guess the only thing I talk about is quarantine. I think that the quarantine is so tiring, which that sounds so privileged, but I mean, like, in terms of like what, like your regular routine, say like you're a student or you go to work every day, that's, I feel like, part of your routine, and like without like that, I feel like everything goes a little bit awry, like, but yeah. I guess on the bright side, something good that came out of quarantine is a lot of musicians are releasing a lot of music, so that's always fun. It's also like, I feel like that time of year when concerts and festivals usually happen, so artists tend to release more music now, like in spring slash summertime. But yeah, new music is always good. Details on the butterfly wings, it reminded me of like orange slices, and I didn't want to use any orange or yellow. I mean, I used yellow on like the border of the wing just to make it pop more, because I used like pink, purple, and blue gradient to color in the details of the wing. So I wanted that, like, I want a contrast, so I chose something a little bit more opposite of blue. It usually would be orange, but I didn't want to use orange, so I opted for yellow instead. It also ties in with the pollen part of the flower, and also it ties in with the sunset background, so I guess that was a good call. Yeah. So here I was trying to figure out what to do with the background. Initially I wanted it to just be like a red background, and then it didn't work out like that, and I was trying to figure out what colors I wanted. and everything, and then I ended up like opting for a sunset background, which made the most sense and it looks really nice. So here I'm just starting off with like a red on top, and then bringing it down a little bit, blending that with an orange shade color. I mean, yeah, I don't know what I'm talking about, like shade, but anyways, and then I use some yellow just to blend it too. I'm talking as if these are like eyeshadow shades, but they're not. They're regular colors. And then I just cleaned up the outside border of like the circle a little bit. And here's just some real-time footage of like me erasing some of the color off of the petals. Off of some of the petals anyways, not all, because when I was doing the background, you know how like when sunsets happen, like the sunset light, like from the sun, it reflects off of like basically anything and everything, so I wanted that to show through as well. But the thing is, like the way that I drew the daisy, it was kind of like in front, like some of the petals you would see it would be more in front, so they would be like just regular daisy petals, and then like the rest, like around to the back, I did like the reflection of the light on those, so it made more sense. I don't know how I'm explaining it, if that makes any sense, but it makes sense to me. That's why I just kind of like left some of the petals to have like the light reflecting from the sunset on it, the petals, like the orange shade on the petals. So yeah. So what I'm using is a Chromebook that I bought initially to take notes in university and stuff, but I think like a little bit, like not even halfway, maybe like a quarter way through like the first semester, I decided to switch to doing like handwritten notes, because I like start to remember it better if I like write it down right away, and then like later on I could organize like the notes better and whatever. So that's what I ended up doing for university note taking. So technically I kind of wasted my own money, but like not really, because like I'm now using it to draw, so it's all good, I think. I was listening to The Weeknd's new album during this time, because it was like the beginning of, or like the end of March, beginning of quarantine type thing. So I think that was like around the time The Weeknd released his new studio album. So yeah, After Hours is pretty good. So yeah. Here I'm just doing like the clouds and drawing them in and stuff like that. So we see here a better like time lapse. I forgot what the app I use for drawing this. It's like something auto sketchbook desk, Autodesk sketchbook, something like that. Just search it up on the Google Play Store and it'll pop up. It's free, and I think it is really like beginner friendly. Like again, I'm a beginner in digital drawing and stuff like that, so it works out really well for me personally. Yeah. So like if you wanted to get into digital drawing, or you just want to start doing something like fun, I feel like digital drawing is something anybody and everyone can do. So yeah. You don't even need like a laptop really. You can use your phone. You can just get the app from the Google Play Store, or I don't know if it's on the regular like iPhone, we call it like the regular iPhone store, App Store. That's what it's called. I don't know if it's on there, but you know, you can probably get a different program or whatever. Different app. But yeah. So we're getting to the end of the video now, just showing the whole drawing in detail and stuff like that. I hope everybody's safe. Whoever's watching this, I hope you're safe, and I hope you're happy and healthy and everything. And yeah, I'm gonna go now. So bye. Thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed this video. And peace.